be sharing the things that I do working for you. I'm pleased to hear that, Jill. I'm going to be sharing some of the things I do. And whilst I'm doing that, guys, I want you to tell me the things that you are struggling with in particular when it comes to your content marketing. So today I'm just going to focus on TikTok. But as you guys know, in my membership, I focus on all platforms. I'm monetized on all platforms. So I am also in the creative fund in TikTok, which, to be honest, pay me pretty well. I seem to have a very high RPM, so that's rate per mil. That's how much they pay me per 1,000 views. And let me just turn that off. And I have seen, I've done a few TikToks about RPM, and I have seen people saying they're only getting like 2p, 3p per 1,000 views, which is basically just not worth the time. But instead of falling into the kind of creator influencer trap, I call it, because you're always trying to chase the next brand deal or the next the next contract, I use the views that I get, and I to direct people completely to my stand store to make my offers. The money that I get from the creator fund, I use to invest back in my business. So for example, last month I had a couple of £1,000, I think, from the creator fund. I just paid off a software, like something that I pay every single month. I paid it off in the year. So this is how I use some of the money that I get for free, right? Because this is literally money for free. Obviously I'm doing the content, but I'm not doing the content to earn the money. I'm doing the content to create my business. So for me, it's a double win. So a little brief story, a little trip down story lane. How did I get involved in content marketing? I'm 51 years old, 51 years young, I might say. 51 years young. So I have been involved in content marketing really ever since I started my own business, because back in then I was a broke ass single parent. Even if I knew how to run ads at the time, which I clearly didn't, I would not have been able to afford it. And back then ads were very cheap too. It wasn't like, and Facebook definitely was not a pay to play, the same as all of these other platforms. So I just created my content every single day, and most importantly, on every single platform. Back then, I created a community. So community is one of the best ways of increasing definitely your follower view, your follower account, and also your follower view. But 4 months ago, I got hacked on Meta and lost access to all of my ad accounts and a whole load of other things. And Meta being the mess that it is, I have not been able to gain access to those things. So I lost access to loads of Facebook groups I had, which were with thousands of people in them, right? So now I have a community completely off of platforms, and I have that in my Stand Store. So in Stand Store you can have a complete community. I'm just going to see if I can screen share it. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. Bumbity bumbity bum. It's what I call my little content club. And basically, yeah, in there, I will show you. Let me just put it up here. So I'm just going to share the screen so you can see it. There we go. In here, in the community on Stand Store, it's literally like having your own Facebook group, but I would say even better, because you can obviously have all of your threads. You can post, people in your group can post, And also down the side, you can have like add all of your links to different things. So this is where you can do soft marketing, right? This is not the hard sell. This is soft marketing. So there I've got my viral spreadsheet, my Contentpreneurs membership. Hello, Kessely. I have my private digital vault, my YouTube community, my blog, and obviously everything I do about starting your own business online. So that is all within a standstill, all within your community. You can manage your members. You can even advertise your upcoming webinars. So I think that is like a really cool way of advertising what you do whilst building your community. And number one, it is off the platforms as well, because honestly, the way things on Meta seem to get hacked and they just take forever, if ever at all, trying to sort it out is a nightmare. So now I just refuse to sort of spend the time building up that community like that in a group, where I just take it straight. If people are on my email list, they go from my email list straight into my community, which is off an app. And then like that, if anything happens, you still have your people with you, right? So that is something I would definitely do. So another way that I get 1 million views a week on TikTok is by making sure I am creating the right type of content. So I'm going to tell you about the type of content I create for what I do. And then you think about yourself, your business, your brand, whatever it is that you're doing. And think about, should you be doing that, right? There's no, I guess there is a right, I was going to say there's no right and no wrong way, but actually there probably is, right? Because if you're stuck in no view land, then there's going to be a reason for that. Obviously, it is down to content strategy, 100%. I'm not going to lie about that. And if you are struggling with any of these things, in my Content Club membership, obviously you learn about all of this, right? So when I am creating my content, the only thing I have in mind, even though I'm getting 1 million views a week over on TikTok, in true honesty, I create content for my ideal client. I don't create content for views. So I don't create clickbait content. I might do a bit of newsjacking. If you don't know what that is, let me know. I might do a little bit of newsjacking if it is about something relevant to my niche and my audience. But I literally have in my brain all the time when I'm creating my content that I am creating an audience of buyers. I am not creating an audience of followers, because followers just don't pay. They don't pay your bills, right? Most of the time, the viral videos, and I regularly get videos that have got 2 million, 3 million, 1 million views, right? The majority of the time, oh, thank you, Flo Trider. Please put your comments in, guys. Put your comments in as well. I'm double streaming, so I'm on YouTube and I'm also on Insta. So if I'm going like this, then you know why. The majority of the time, the videos that pop off on TikTok, they do not, and I can say this hands down, if you come to my masterclass, you see all the screenshots, because I produce all my analytics, guys. I show you all my analytics, so you can clearly see that it comes from my account. Those videos never really, they never turn into buyers. It's always the videos, the TikToks where you get less views, 1,000, I might even say sometimes, or 2,000 views. Those are the videos where people buy, honest to God. So last month, I had a really good month. Every time I went live on TikTok, I was talking about my 365 plan. I was talking about my content marketing membership. I did very, very well. Lots of people were joining. And a lot of the time, I didn't have a lot of people in the live. It's always when you have, and there's times like last Sunday, I had over like 350 people at one point in my live, not a single sale. So you've got to break the mentality that views equal sales, because they don't. The only thing it does do is it might give you that little boost, right? It might give you that boost of like boost your ego. But at 51, I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's not really many things that boost my ego anymore. I kind of see the red flags easy. I see the red flags easy now. So it's, yeah, ego boosters don't particularly work for me. I look at my bank, right? If I go, oh, okay, that worked, that's all I'm bothered about. So creating the content for the right reasons. So everybody should always have a content strategy. In your content strategy, you should have like 3 main pillars. So to start with, you can relate the pillars to your niches, okay? Or I would say if you're trying to grow your account, stick in one niche. Don't cross niche unless you get to, maybe once you get to about 25k followers on TikTok, you can start to cross niche. And I'll tell you the reason why. TikTok is a very complex algorithm, but it's also simplistic. It's simplistic in the way that if you talk about too many things in your content, because all the time the algorithm is picking up on your keywords, right? So it's very much like YouTube. Every single thing you say on YouTube is like literally being transcribed automatically, the same on TikTok. And all of those keywords that you pick up, it's picking up, are going to determine the demographics of your audience. TikTok, unlike other platforms, they do trial testing of your content. So on Instagram and Facebook, your content is pushed out to people who follow you, right? On TikTok, it does the opposite. On TikTok, it pushes out the first 30% of your content to people who do not know you. That is why it goes on the FYP page. And depending on their reaction, it will push it out even further. That's stage 1. The other thing is being in an MCN agency. And guys, I am actually in the process of opening up my own TikTok agency. If anyone is interested in that, make sure you're on my email list. So this is really just for creators. And the one I'm going to be honest with you, this is a strategic reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to help protect all of my customers and their accounts, to be honest with you, on TikTok. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Because TikTok is a beast. It can be very volatile. It can be very good. You can blow up your account. You can blow up, get loads of sales. It can be very good because it is a platform. If nobody knows you, if nobody knows who you are, where you have been, the things that you have done, you can literally create a whole account on TikTok very, very fast, and it can grow very fast too. Instagram is very, very different. So the reason why I'm going to be opening the agency, I'm in the process of doing it. It doesn't cost anybody anything. I'll be 100% clear. It's just to make sure if people get account bans or account violations or anything that is going to stop them, especially my clients in the 365 plan, if it stops them from being able to market themselves, I want to be in the position where I can literally just remove any barriers. Also myself. So I have nearly 60,000 followers. I get 1 million views a day. Of course, I do not want to lose that as a very good free organic marketing channel. So it's 100% strategic, and that's why I'm doing it. So for the time that it's free to me and it's free to my customers, I will do that. If it changes, we'll have to think about that again. But for the moment, I think that's a cool thing to do. So this is the other reason why lots of people's accounts on TikTok blow up. So I'm going to be brutally honest about this. They're called MCN agencies. So it's called a multi-channel network or multi-channel networking agency. And the agencies on TikTok get paid like TikTok credits or TikTok coins, I guess we could say, by TikTok to give back to creators. So this is when you're on TikTok, you see creators getting virtual gifts and they do these battles. The platforms, the majority of the time, or the agencies, the majority of the time, they organize all of this for the creators. And it's a good way of getting yourself around the app and around the world very fast with your products and services. I'm not going to lie. So I've done a few battles, and I can literally be sitting in the UK at 9 o'clock at night, talking to someone in America, and people always ask, what do you do? That is the first question people ask. They say, what do you do? I say I'm a business marketing coach. I help people create niche online businesses and market the hell out of it so they make bank. And they go, can we have deets? And I go, it's in the profile. I've even done a battle with Mr. Deets. He's got over 1 million followers, so I couldn't believe that. I was like, this is so cool. So there we go, guys. It's a very, again, strategy. So this is not your I am not your normal business marketing coach. I am strategy, right? I go with what's working right now, not what was working 5 years ago, 2 years ago. I observe what's working in the marketplace, and then I think, right, how can I and my customers benefit from this? I mean, I'm just being shrewd, right? This is what we have to do. Okay, the other thing with TikTok, let's get back to the keywords. When you are creating your content, lots of people go, you've got to keep using the same hashtags. I disagree with that. You have to use the same group of hashtags that are interrelated. So let's, for example, my hashtags are start a business, business marketing, monetize on TikTok, how to go viral, that sort of thing. Okay, if I was to then put in my hashtags easy bake, hashtag Christmas gifts, hashtag best hair product, I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, my TikTok would 100% flop. It would 100% flop. So it is good to use the same sort of hashtags from the same group, but if you carry on just using exactly the same hashtags, you are going to get a viewer, you're going to get a drop. It's just not going to work. Unlike TikTok, unlike Facebook and Instagram, with TikTok, you can't starve the algorithm. You definitely can do this. So at one point, on one of my pages on Facebook, I was getting like 10,000 followers a day organically. This was crazy. I couldn't even keep up with the comments. It was just unreal. And what I'd done was that I realized that on Facebook, I'm not sure this works totally like this on Instagram, but it definitely works like this on Facebook. If you start doing, all of the platforms love lives, right? They all love lives. So definitely in your content strategy, you must go live at least once a week. Just work it into your schedule, even if it's half an hour. You have to go live at least once a week. When I go live daily, so on the account that was getting 10,000 followers a day, I went live 3 times a day. No joke. Morning, noon, and night, literally 3 times a day. I knew what I was doing. I thought, I'm going to peak the algorithm. Now, on Facebook, they compare your last 7 days, growth with the current. So let's just say you're getting to 10,000 followers a day, you're getting loads of engagement, and you're hitting that platform where you're not pushing past that platform. On Facebook, if you just stop doing everything for maybe a week, 3 to 4 days or a week, you starve the algorithm, and then all of the stats drop. So when you start doing it again, it peaks again because it's comparing to the last few days or the last week. So that is a really good tip for Facebook growth. On TikTok, it doesn't work like that at all. So on TikTok, if you starve the algorithm, you're like in 200 view boot camp. TikTok love consistency. And one of the reasons why they love consistency is because they are literally trying to take on the world. Come on. They're in competition with Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Google. They're in competition with everybody. And because of that, they are quite scrupulous, I will say, ruthless at times, when you get stupid account bans for things you haven't done. Again, guys, when I've got my agency, that's going to be a thing of the past. And by the way, the agency is going to be up in about 2 weeks. So if anyone wants to join my creator agency, then you can come along and join that. Just make sure you're on my email list, and I'm going to open up a declaration of interest probably over the weekend for people. So everything you say has a big impact on TikTok. Now also, there are certain things you cannot say on TikTok. I mean, this is the joy of being on Instagram and the joy of being on YouTube. On TikTok, if you mention website, that's a violation. If you mention go to my link in bio, that's a violation. If you say buy from my website, that's a violation. I actually did a TikTok about this, and I literally was going, that's a violation. Honest to God, sometimes I feel like I'm back at school. Is the only way I can say it. Sometimes I do feel like I'm back at school with TikTok, because I just, in my head, I've got this vision that they're like these people sitting in a room with all of the computers, like just watching these lives, or everybody's phones. It just seems ridiculous. Why are they doing it? They're doing it because of the TikTok shop. So this is why I say to people, never, ever, ever, never in a day open a TikTok shop. I've been there, I've done it, I've published my results to my community, guys, so you've seen the results. Just don't do it. If you are someone that suffers with anxiety, stress, depression, definitely don't do it, because you will be jumping through so many hoops. They will be so hard on your content. And when I mean hard, if you mention the word website, you're literally going to get a ban. It's ridiculous. I mean, and also, the only way you make money commercially on TikTok, if you do TikTok shop, is literally having your ass pinned to the chair about 8 hours a day. I run multiple brands and businesses. I cannot do that. And actually, I refuse to do that. This is why run a £25 ad, heat up your ad machine, and have the sales go direct to your website. The other thing is, on TikTok shop commercially, if you're trying to grow your business on TikTok instead of a creator, and you're going down the e-com route, you will find that it will literally just suck all of your time. My advice to people, when people say that to me, because we've been there and we've done it, and I'll give you an example. In February, one of my brands, we had a sellout weekend on TikTok, like sellout. We had no more of anything left. We sold everything. It was brilliant. I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. This is crazy. Maybe TikTok shop is the way. You would imagine if you had loads of people in your live buying everything and you're doing really, really well, that the TikTok would just give you more traffic. Did they? Hell, what they did, they completely tanked our traffic. And when I mean tanked, I mean 2-3 people in a live from hundreds of people, like literally the next day. No violations, nothing. We couldn't work it out. And then all the time, every time we went live, this little message would come up along the bottom of the screen saying, oh, if you want to get more viewers, hit boost. Like, you're taking nearly 10% commission of every sale we make. We're actually physically having to sit here and sell instead of running an ad for traffic to go back to our website, which really frees you up for time, right? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I carried on not doing it. And they just completely reduced all of our views. And then they changed the rules, and they said, if you get 20,000, if you make £20,000 in sales a month, we will give you a TikTok e-com manager, and then we're going to support you. And I just thought, this is sounding very like mafia to me. This is like, so I was like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that. That's going to require me or my resources to pay someone to sit there and do lives. We're just not going to do it. And I don't like the way of selling on TikTok either. It's very like, hi guys, look what I've just unwrapped. I need to get some actually. Look what I've just unwrapped. Bye, 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 bye. And what's happening, if you're on TikTok on the app, everyone is becoming completely tolerant of this type of marketing. And this is a complete repetition of the process of what we saw maybe 5 years ago on Facebook, where every affiliate marketer or every digital marketer was there in their sweatshirt. They had a black band above their content, a black band across the bottom. It had the headline here and a little bit of blurb there, right? everybody was using this style, and then what was happening, people were just weren't, that you like, it wasn't stopping the scroll. So obviously the idea of content marketing is to stop the scroll. So if you're doing the same as everyone else, or you're force feeding sales down people's throats, like, people are just going to swipe. And also the frequency of ads on TikTok is insane right now. It's like every third TikTok, they are selling something. I think this is honestly the most foolish thing that TikTok could have done in a long while, like literally a long while, because they are making people revolt. No, everyone is so fed up. Even if you wanted to buy a product, I probably wouldn't buy it from TikTok Shop, because I just hate the marketing. Nobody likes being sold to like that. So in Contentpreneurs membership, I have something called like, obviously, how to sell, sellology, right? Trying to sell to people, or trying to market yourself or your products or your business or your brand, it should be done in an intelligent way. So this type of fish market selling is what I call it. And if you're, I don't know where you're watching this from, but in London we have a big fish market called Billingsgate Market, and they literally stand there going, £5 a trout, £5 a trout, come on now, get it in your basket, it's going, come on then, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. It's like an auction. This is what TikTok's like. You go onto TikTok, onto TikTok chat, like, oh my God, everyone's always having a sale, and they're like, oh my God, guys, this is the lowest sale we've ever done. And when you see it, I'm like, actually, you were doing the same thing yesterday. So the other thing is, don't do sales all the time. When you're trying to make money, don't do sales all the time. No one believes that you have a sale on all of the time, and it devalues your brand. It devalues your value ladder. You should have a product that is priced the right way, and now and again you do sales, right? Christmas sales, Black Friday sales, some kind of celebration sales, or whatever it is. But if you're looking to TikTok as an example of how to market products, just don't. Look elsewhere. Don't look in TikTok. So let's get back to getting those million views a week. So what are the other things that I do? I basically don't follow the trend, is pretty much what I don't do. I might use trending music. So like trending music, if you use trending music under 10,000 views on Instagram, tends to work quite well. Sometimes, depends on your account size. On TikTok, it can work quite well, but there's rarely a sound that is under 10,000 sounds on TikTok, I will say. It's quite difficult. To be honest with you, I have never ever seen a peak in views on TikTok or followers because I used a trending sound. Never. So I don't even believe that. You know, people say use a trending sound, text on your screen, all of this stuff. No, I do have a good text on the screen. It's a hook, right? It's a visual hook. So use a visual hook, but make sure it's a good hook. In the Content Club membership, you get hooks every single month. I would go and research the top hooks on TikTok, and I put them in there. So all you've got to do is switch out the word, that is in there, the keyword, and put your keyword in there. So the word that is relevant to your niche. The other thing you have to be on TikTok is very repetitive. I absolutely hated doing this initially at the start, but it is just the way the platform works. And sometimes you feel like, God, I'm just so repeating myself, but that's just how it works on TikTok. It doesn't seem to work like that anywhere else. You've got to remember that not every single person that follows you sees every single piece of your content. So repeating yourself now and again, I would say now and again, not like every day, there's nothing wrong with that. So repeating yourself is not a bad thing. One thing you should not do in your content, and I know people do this on TikTok, and honestly, these are the accounts that do not grow. So quite often people come onto TikTok, they have got knowledge, like I have knowledge, right? I'm an award-winning author, I'm a multi-brand owner, I'm 51, I get 1 million views on TikTok every single week. I could start every single TikTok boring the hell out of everybody by saying all of that. Nobody cares, because your viewers, your audience, they care about them. audience and viewers are very selfish. When you think, sorry guys, but it's true, when you're watching something, you're thinking, is this relevant to me? What am I going to get out of this? You can bring in mentioning your accolades in different ways in your content without ramming it down somebody's throat. And to be honest with you, it's almost like doing income reveals. It's quite vulgar. And I think the majority, anytime I've done income reveals, I just get trolled because people are so hacked off with what I earn. It has the opposite effect. So I never do them. I really never do them. I don't think it's a good thing to do. If you're the only way you can get people interested in your products or your services by doing income reveals, then there's definitely something wrong with your content marketing plan. 100%, definitely something wrong. So yeah, let's not go there. Right. Yeah, the people that repeat themselves. So people that say, hi, I'm Alice. Hi, my name is Alice. I've been doing content marketing for 20 years and I used to, by the way, I'm just going to make this up as I'm going along. Hi, my name's Alice. I've been doing content marketing for 20 years. I used to work for Facebook and I also used to spend a little bit of my time at Google. Right, people have already bored, gone. They've swiped off. So these long introductions just do not work. They have a better place on a platform, perhaps like YouTube. Everybody knows the first 3.5 minutes of a YouTube video is like waffle, waffle, waffle. And I'm sorry from the US, guys, you are the worst. And we all know it's because you want people to stay to watch, to peak your views, especially if you're monetized, because that's when the first ad roll will roll in. Every single time I see an American YouTube, I literally fast forward to 3.5 minutes, and that's always where the YouTube starts, right? So it's 3.5 minutes of intro. So on YouTube, I think that is definitely a platform that is you know it will tolerate that, but not TikTok. So don't do that on TikTok because it's just not going to work. You're going to hack your audience off. People are going to get bored. People are probably going to change their opinion of you. You don't have to, you should be showing people your accolades through what you're doing, not by telling, but by showing. So that would be my tip there. Guys, if you have any questions, put your questions in. I'm going to be live for about 10 minutes or more, and then I'm going to be gone like a puff of smoke. So there are lots of different strategies you can use. So let's talk about content pillars, actually, first of all. Content pillars are really important. So my content pillars are going to be some of my story. So my personal story, I used to work, I own my own brands, but I lost my husband in COVID. So when in that time, after that time, I was like, I need to get a job, right? I just need to get out of the four walls. I'd been at home with my 2 kids for 2 years, like everybody, all the parents, let's not lie, we were climbing the walls, COVID. And I was like, I need to do something other than working from home. So I automated a lot of my businesses and I just went and got a job. Stupidly, I chose the government. I chose the UK government. I got discriminated against. I got a disability. I was discriminated against, and I tried to sort it out with them. They didn't listen. I ended up taking them to court single-handedly, and I won. So quite a lot of my story is known on TikTok because I've given out lots of advice about certain things that people need to know about legal entities and all that sort of thing. So part of my content pillar is how I have literally 10x'd my salary working for myself compared to my government salary. I still have it here. So here is my old government payslip from the Department of Work and Pensions. And here is my ridiculous salary, 1858. So there we go. So, and the fact that I can produce that, again, that is I guess like an income claim, but can you see how I did that? Can you see how I did that? I didn't say, I'm going to teach you, da, 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 da. I'm sharing my story, which is inspiring to other people. So you can show certain things in certain ways, but it's a strategy, and the way that you do it is your deliverance. It's how you deliver is really important. So that is one of my content pillars. Obviously, nobody expects to take a like government office to court in the first place, and nobody expects to win. So that is already one big part of my content strategy. The other part is obviously niche. So I'm literally the nichepreneur. People come to me and say, I have an idea for a business, or I want us, not even an idea. Most of the time people say, I want to earn money online. I want it to be a real business. I don't want to do the UGC content creator thing. I don't want to sell TikTok's crappy plastic products. I don't want to do any of that. I want to have a real business online that is automated. So I don't have to be doing it all of the time. Can you help me? So I help people create niched businesses, like very niched around them, their skills, and who they are, what they do, all that sort of thing, right? So that is something I am quite well known for as well. And then obviously I'm well known for a couple of my brands that people know about. Not everybody knows all of my brands. So I am quite well known for those. And I'm well known for them because I started them all as a broadcast single parent. I grew them from nothing, and they're still going strong, like over 10 years later. So all of that skill and all of that knowledge I share with people, and I help. So those are 3 content pillars that are embedded in my own personal story. And this is why I think it works so much better than a lot of this baseless content pillars. So like I see that, and I'm sorry, Instagram, but you guys, you're the worst for it, right? These 7-second reels of how someone has made crazy amounts of money just in digital marketing, like, is the worst. Like, and always targeting the mums, like, leave the mums alone. Always targeting the mums at home as well. Like, some of you guys should have shame on you. Because trust me, I earn money, but I do not just post a couple of 7-second reels and then people go and buy thousands of pounds worth of whatever of my offers. It just does not work like that. So I mean, if it did, right, we'd all be millionaires. So this element of BS content marketing is not, I'm not a fan of this. And again, I think people are so fed up of seeing that on Instagram, that I think this is one of the things that people liked on TikTok, because actually if you do that on TikTok, you're probably going to get some kind of a restriction or a violation notice somewhere along the line. So that is quite refreshing. The other element of growing your social media, guys, is going live. So I hate to say this, right? I love and I hate Gary Vee. Although I am pleased that he has changed one of the things he always says. So we all know Gary Vee says, and I say this as well, actually, it's pretty true, do not surround yourself with negative people. So literally anyone in my life that is negative or has a negative impact on me, I literally remove. I have no negativity around me. I support, I've got 0 tolerance on my social medias. If I see, all of my comments on TikTok are, they are by manual approval. You can't, like, you can comment, but I will literally, me or someone in my team will go and manually approve the comments. So anything that is rude, that is negative, that is discriminative, block straight away. I just, like, the comments do not get published, they get blocked. So I keep my online environment like my home environment, which is positive, and remove the BS and the negativity. And this is one of the best ways, if you are trying to promote yourself for offers and sales, that you're going to attract the real person. On TikTok, what a lot of people do, and this is a big mistake, is people newsjack off the back of creators. So newsjacking is when something is trending in the news, like, I don't know, like currently, right, we've got this is a good one. Currently, we've got the hurricanes. Is it Hurricane Milton in Florida? I'm so sorry for anybody actually going through that. It must be horrific. I've never seen anything like it. I have been watching it, I have to say, and I'm like, Christ, that must be petrifying, like petrifying to know. I like, not just your house, but am I going to be like living after this, right? Really scary. It's so powerful, this thing that I've seen. Now, if someone was like, if I was suddenly to start talking about Hurricane Milton in my content, which I could do because it is currently trending, but that would be so weird, because I don't talk about hurricanes. I don't talk about general news. I don't talk about anything like that. But some people will do. Some people will, who never talk about hurricanes or Florida or anything like that, will take that story because it's trending and will make content about it, because they're hoping to like jack their views off of the news. That's why we call it news jacking. Bad idea. Bad idea. One, I think is disrespectful, especially in this case, because like people are losing their homes and their lives over it, right? So not cool. And secondly, you're just going to confuse the hell out of the algorithm, especially TikTok, because it gets easily confused. If you go out of your niche, it doesn't like it at all. So that is really important. But other people do this other thing as well, which is news jacking off of creators. So TikTok has something called the leaderboard. Some of you guys may be aware of it. The leaderboard is where you get points for all of the virtual gifts that you get and all the likes that you get, right? Where people are double tapping the screen. The further you go up the leaderboard, the more money you can get. When you get to the top 10, TikTok are literally paying you out thousands and thousands of pounds, right? A lot of money. Some people are earning 10,000 a day, right? Just by doing the leaderboard. But it's dependent on other people gifting you that through virtual gifts. Whether you agree with virtual gifts or not is a very controversial topic. Maybe we should talk about that in another live, right? But there are some content creators on the app that are notorious, let's just say notorious, for earning a lot of money this way and not paying their tax. And some of them have really been caught out and it's been made quite public. Now, because I do a lot with content creators, not just business owners, but freelancers and content creators as well, especially content creators that want to kind of leave that, because for me, that's like a rat race, because you're having to go live all of the time to get those virtual gifts to earn money. I would not want to, that for me is not a business model that I would be attracted by, because it would be for me like rocking up at work. So yeah, I don't like that at all. I like it just to come in passively. I like to record what I'm doing or create what I'm doing, put it somewhere, hope it will sell, make it sell. Yeah, I'm not into this. I'm not into doing this other business model, this creative business model. I think is like, yeah, working for someone else. Anyway, guys, put in the comments as well if you have any questions. I can see you there. I can see you there watching. Now I could newsjack and start talking about those creators and what I think about it and what I this and what I that, but I don't. So my top tip on TikTok is just not to talk about anybody else, not to talk about people in a disrespectful way. And it is easy. I think it's probably easier to do on TikTok than any other platform, because it is the platform where you can have quite a large voice. You have more freedom of speech over what you say. But technically, this is kind of like bullying in a sense, right? It's not very nice and it is pretty unprofessional. So I do not ever talk about another creator. I never pull down another creator. I might look at a content creator's style. So I used to do something called the content box on Friday, but it was just taking up too much of my time. So I would look at different content styles from different content creators. But even that, you have to be careful, because if someone doesn't look at something subjectively, you can be faulted for that. So yeah, that would be my other tip. And not to get involved in drama on TikTok. And on TikTok, there is a lot of drama. If you're on TikTok a lot, you know, every day, you will see this. I never do live rooms either. So, you know, in TikTok, you can have people come into your boxes. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Every single account that has this thing where people can go into the boxes and chat are always problematic accounts. They're always accounts where they are always discussing the most controversial thing going, the most controversial topic going, because they want to attract views, because they want to get on the FYP page and get gifts and virtual gifts and all the rest of it. You know, people do what they want to do. I'm not judging, but if you want an account that grows, if you want to get 1 million views a week like I get, I don't do any of these things. And TikTok see everything. They see where you go, they see the accounts you go to, the lives you go in, the people that you write to, the DMs that you send. They see absolutely everything. And people that are on account warnings, for example, so if you get three strikes, if you get loads of violations, or you get a bad violation for doing anything criminal or dangerous, you'll get an account strike. If you get 3 account strikes, on the third one your account is gone, it is banned. So you have to be like quite careful if you don't want to lose your account. After the first account strike, when people go and visit your page or interact with you, if you're live, they will get a notice from TikTok saying, are you sure you want to engage with this account? They have a warning, which I think is really bad, but they do this. So again, if you want to grow, you just have to look at TikTok like a business and realize that this is a live broadcast. Like now when I'm live, this is a live broadcast. Like people could be sitting in their lounge watching me, right? So everything you say, people can hear, they can see. And I think people detach from this a lot when they go live. They kind of forget, because they're at home, they're on their phone or their tripod. They forget that hundreds or thousands of people could be listening or watching you, and even on replay, right? So be careful what you say, and just say things that are relative to who you're talking to your audience, with a goal. Have a goal. Every time you go live, have a goal. So every time I go live, I have like not a script, but I already have, I've sat down and I've thought, okay, today I'm going to discuss content marketing, how to grow your account on TikTok. And I have like little bullet points here of the things I'm talking about as I'm going through, right, guys? So that for me is like the professional way to go about it. And also it's respectful. It's Saturday, people are busy, I'm busy. Don't rock up on a live just expecting people to give you the engagement. You should be saying things to want people to stay. You should be discussing things that are relevant to your audience. If you're not, then that's on you. You need to go back to your category of 1, and you need to be thinking, what do I need to think about more here? How can I make this better? How can I be better at doing XYZ? And of course, right, in the digital like landscape, it's always changing. So these are things that you should be doing relatively regularly anyway. Okay, guys, does anyone have any questions? If not, I am going to end my live very, very shortly. It has been a joy coming on, talking to you all. 51 minutes, guys, we've been going. YTube, let me know if you have, who is here in the chat. Let's have a little look. Who would help if I could spell? Who is here in the chat? Oh, and I did say, didn't I was going to do a little offer whilst I'm live. So what I'm going to do is my content marketing, or my content club membership, where you will learn how to market yourself on all platforms, not just TikTok. I'm going to pop on a little sale. So normally I'm going to pop it on for 35. So I'm going to take some casheroos off of it. Hi, Darren. I've seen Darren, lovely. I'm going to message you afterwards. I have seen your TikTok, lovely. So look, let me suggest something. I guess I can talk about this, right? Because you've done a TikTok about it, everyone can see it. So Darren, you're deciding to close what you're doing because of certain issues, right? Unless it's something relating to your, like, if it's related to your health, I get it. But if it's because of the cash flow, can I make a suggestion? Your planner, right? First of all, okay, close your store. The Shopify store was always going to be expensive. If you can't afford a stand store, go for Pensite. Pensite is free. So you could be selling a digital mental health planner literally for like through a Pensite store, on TikTok in particular, if you're on TikTok, that's your platform of choice. So it's not going to cost you anything. And then you just work on the planner and then work on a whole load of digital resources that relate to it, so that you're not having that printing costs and all the rest of it. Also, if anybody is on any kind of like state benefits, you can go and get 6 months internet for free from the job centre and phone. And you can also get a free laptop as well. Like, hit them up for it all. That would be my suggestion. Like, definitely. I saw it this morning, so I'll message you after with the details of these things. But yeah, don't give up, Darren. Don't give up. Don't give up, because what you're doing is really, really good. Thank you, Float Rider. Thank you. Hi, Tune Skipper. How are you, my lovely? How are you? How are you? So I'm gonna be reducing. So the membership here, it's in my stand store. So if you're in, it's normally 85, guys, and I'm going to do a little flash sale here. So this is a membership. I'm going to put it on for 35. Don't forget, we're in Q4 right now. We're in Q4. One of the things you should be focusing on right now is maximum content, because let me just pop this in the chat. Okay, maximum content, because everybody is online looking, what can I buy, or what ideas do I have? And even if you're not selling products, if you are selling services or even digital products, okay, or anything along those lines, people are in the frame of mind to buy, because they're already like psyched in their head. Christmas is coming. On the back of their mind, they're thinking, I've got to buy this, I've got to buy that, I've got to buy this, I've got to buy that. So they're already like ready to spend money. One of the hardest things to do quite often with people to get them to buy things is getting them in that mindset that they want to spend money. So right now, people are in that mindset. So you've got half of the job done for you already. So yeah, you should be marketing yourselves, creating your content to the max, guys. Three posts a day minimum. If you're on TikTok. Actually, this is a good question. All right, how many times should you be posting a day? If it's a brand new account, 3 times a day plus stories on TikTok. I'm in a creator fund now. Now, before I was in a creator fund, I used to post 5 times a day, and TikTok used to love it. But because I get 1 million views a week, TikTok don't like paying me too much. So I've worked out that on TikTok, if I post 1 video a day, they're happy, because otherwise I'm going to cost them too much money. If I post more than that, they don't like it. They just won't push it out. So whether you're in a creator fund or not, it does make a big difference. And Darren, I don't know if you heard, and anybody else, but I am going to be, if you're on my email list, I am going to be opening a TikTok agency. So I'm in the process. It's going to be done in about 2 weeks. So if anyone is interested in that, when you get I'm going to send out an email for expressions of interest if anybody wants to join. So this costs you nothing. And as I said at the start of this live, this is 100% strategic. The only reason I'm doing this is to protect everybody's accounts, my customers' accounts. So people who are on the 365 plan, people who are in my content membership for content creation, all of that. It's just to make sure their accounts are protected, because apparently I can have accounts unbanned, I can have violations removed, and also I can get your accounts heated. This is what I'm told. So they will be giving me the opportunity to put creators. So guys, make sure your accounts are all creator accounts, no business accounts, creator accounts. I will be able to manage those. And there'll obviously be training, all that good stuff that you guys need probably in order to get those views. And you can do what you want, right? Either get yourself in the creator fund with it. But as you guys know, I always say this is wine money because it's unpredictable. Any monetization from a platform is unpredictable, but it is free money, right? So if you want to take that money and invest it into your business, buy some software, buy some training, buy whatever you need, then it's all good stuff. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. I wasn't going to announce it, but as soon as I'm in the process, I might as well. So there we go. So that is what is going on, and there will be a whole new account. So if you get an email from me, it won't be done by Messenger, because as you guys know, I have some weirdo imposter on TikTok that has created 22 accounts of me now. 22. That takes some doing. But this is going to be a completely different name, which you'll only know about if you're on my email list of certain things. So guys, Tune Skipper, you'll definitely get it. Darren, you'll definitely get it. Jill, you'll definitely get it. And some of you other guys as well that I can see there, guys and girls. So there we go. Right, everybody, I'm going. It's 11:30. We have done 1 hour of live lounge. It has been great, good fun. And I hope you've learned some things about how you can start creating the right type of content so you can get 1 million views a week like I do. And make your offer, guys. You've got to have the offers, get the offers and make the offers, because if you don't make the offers, you never know. I will finish by saying this. When I'm doing webinars sometimes, and sometimes I can see, I get this feeling and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to make an offer. I'm not going to make the offer. Last week, I had a really low, I had like 5 or 6 people only that came into the webinar. 2 of them converted into the 365 plan. So that is a conversion rate of 20%. That's crazy. So always make your offer. You do not know who is listening. You do not know how much content they've consumed about you, what other things they know about you. If you don't make your offer, you will not make sales. Don't keep leaving it up there in the bio. Talk about your offers. Obviously, don't ram it down people's throats, but talk about your offers. Let people know. So yeah, Jill, that went quick. Well, you know, they say the good stuff. You know what they say about the good stuff. Oh dear. I'm only joking. I'm joking, but not. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jill. Every Saturday I'm live at 10:30. I do kind of go live a little bit in the week, but everybody has been telling me that it's very glitchy on TikTok. Last Sunday, I had a few hundred people in my live. Never a good thing. It was very glitchy, weird. So at the moment, I'm replacing that with Instagram, because Instagram, guys, it's not glitchy, is it, on Instagram? Let me know. It doesn't appear to be glitchy. No one's moaned about it being glitchy. So it's not glitchy. The other problem I had last Sunday, lots of you are complaining, apart from a whole bunch of weirdos in my live on TikTok who I just weird. TikTok were approving some of the most offensive comments from people in the live, but were filtering really genuine, honest questions and comments. Make it make sense. I could not work this out. You guys were messaging me going, my comments aren't coming through, my comments aren't coming through. So yeah, so I'm not sure about doing my lives on TikTok. I'm probably going to reduce that a hell of a lot. I'm definitely going to switch to Instagram for the moment. Jellem, it's not glitchy at all. That's good to know. Thank you. So it's not glitching at all. What is it like on YouTube, guys? Is it glitchy? What's it like? Is there a delay? I am streaming, so live streaming. I'm live streaming through Google on YTube. But has it been smooth? Has it been delayed? Has it been glitchy? Let me know, guys, in the comments, please. It's just good feedback for me, because otherwise it's really annoying, isn't it, when it's just not working. It's just not nice. So I like to know which platforms are working well. Also, I just find TikTok is very heavy on memory, and it's very heavy even on desktop. If I've got it open, it's not glitching. Thank you, Darren. if it's not glitching, if I've got TikTok open on desktop, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe I thought they would be on a UK server. They must be on a Chinese server, because it just is so, it takes up so much like energy, right? And it lags so bad. I'm beginning to think they must, TikTok UK, the app must be connecting all the time to a Chinese server. That's what I reckon. Right, guys, have a lovely day. The emails will be coming out, so let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, have a great day, and create your best life. Have a great day, everybody. Take care, Insta. Goodbye. And everybody as well on YouTube as well. Thanks for coming along, guys. You should always be able to access in the business bundle. I know lots of you are here from the business bundle. In there is the live lounge. Guys, this is our community, right? You can message in there, you can write what you want, you can ask questions. Don't just wait for me to like post things in there. That's for everybody. That's like our community. And also, if you have got the business bundle and you've been put into my community on Standstore, the same thing there. Like, ask questions, guys. The more questions that you ask and the more you get involved in different things, you just like grow your network as well. So everyone that's in my community are normally really cool people, entrepreneurial and creative. So learn, like, make friends with people in my community, guys, because everyone that is involved with the things that I do are really nice guys and girls. So yeah, don't be afraid. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend, and speak to you all later. Goodbye.